Visit them online at techtimeradio.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of turbo debt?
No, what is that? Something to get me into debt faster?
No, turbo debt is not to get you in debt faster. It's to help you get out of debt. Do you have over $10,000 in credit card, personal loans, medical, or payday loans?
Of course I have debt. That's the American way.
Au contraire, mon frere. Turbo debt will give you the option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
Over 70% of Americans die with credit card debt. Do not let this happen to you. Turbo debt will give you an option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and personal loans, medical or payday loans, they can help. Go to turbodebt.com/tech time. Again, that's turbodebt.com/tech time, all capitalized, for a free consultation today. TurboDebt is a proud sponsor of this week's episode of Tech Time Radio.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week, our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, a little whiskey on the side. We are live streaming during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with 30 years of technology expertise, working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. My co-host here, Mike Raday, is an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike is here to keep me from geeking out while providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. We are two friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the Reddit community goes dark to protest a new policy. But is that fair? And we may have different opinions on this, but we're going to be talking about all the news that's going on with Reddit. And then Meta shows staff plans for a text-based social network to compete with Twitter. And the U.S. intelligence confirms that it buys American data from companies like Meta and other companies. What? On a disclosed document, we're going to be talking about that. The American Society Community for Intelligence is buying our data. But they get upset when TikTok in China gets their data of us.
Everybody already knows that.
Well, okay. Well, we're going to be talking about that. And then, of course, we have Gwen Wei. She's going to be joining the show with a new gadget to review. And then our Xbox Annual Summer Showcase was announced Sunday, packed with gaming news regarding that console. But what excites your host? We're going to be talking about that. And finally, Spotify has been fined $5.4 million for violating GDPR data rules. You know what? If I'm just in the European Union and I have these GDPR rules, I guess I can just fine every American company because they don't adhere to those deals. What's going to happen with this? I actually added up. There's over $150 million in the last 2 months that have been fined against United States companies that are violating of GDPR data rules. So is GDPR too constringent, or does America just not care? What's constringent mean? Well, are their rules just too difficult to adhere to?
You mean constricting?
Constricting?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. Either that or they're just speed trapping.
Well, like a cop where they're just
like
making money.
Yeah,
they got to make their quota.
Make some money.
And Mike's story that he's going to be talking about, the iPhone's new OS will let you swear without autocorrect. All right, that's
That's the whole thing, right? That you just ruined it for everybody. Thanks.
Hang on, no, there's more stuff to it. So there you go. In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment this week in technology, a possible Nathan Nugget, absolutely, and we have our pick of the day whiskey tasting during the commercials to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. We have Mark Gregoire in the office today in the studio. We have 4 different whiskeys we're going to be talking about after our first commercial break. He'll explain that. We're going to be sipping each one of these in a particular order to see which one of these we like the most.
So then we'll be wobbling out the door.
As the show continues on throughout the day, it's going to get funnier and funnier and funnier, more funny. All right, now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. The Reddit community goes dark to protest the company's controversial new policy against third parties. But is it fair? Let's listen to our TechTime international reporter, Jom Singh, on the larger user community protest.
Reddit, the social network known for its community-based structure, is experiencing a significant protest. About 3,500 of its subreddits will be going private from June 12th to June 14th. Reddit differs from most social networks. Users follow subreddit communities dedicated to specific topics. Recently, Reddit proposed a pricing change to its API, affecting third-party apps. Apollo, a popular Reddit app, would need to pay a staggering $20 million per year under the new rules. Reddit's unique structure means it relies heavily on volunteer community moderators or mods. These mods ensure the content stays relevant and legal. However, Reddit's pricing change has sparked discontent among them, leading to the planned protest. Nearly 3,500 subreddits will become private for 48 hours, locking out non-members. In response, Reddit CEO Steve Huffman alleged that Apollo was blackmailing the company, a claim that Apollo's developer denies. As Reddit users and mods stand up against the proposed changes, the platform's future direction hangs in the balance.
All right, so let's kind of break this down. So Reddit has come on out and said that they have to make money to be successful. Kind of the same thing Twitter did, right? When Elon Musk said he's going to start charging for Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So all these services, have you used Reddit? I use Reddit a lot.
I do sometimes, yeah.
Okay, so there's a TechTime Radio Reddit, so you can do a subreddit, which is not blocked, so you can go and get all of our episodes.
You're not involved in the protest?
No, I'm not protesting it at all. So here's what's happening. So third-party apps essentially use Reddit to create a better interface, smoother interface, some funny little icons that can help you post information and have different items that people like on their mobile devices and they like on their desktop clients.
Mm-hmm.
Reddit has said to stay in business, to maintain their servers, they're going to start charging third-party developers that write to their application instead of using their native app to log in. Now, this is what people are saying, that they don't like the native app. It's too slow. It's buggy. It's inferior to other items. So essentially, Christian Selig, the developer of the Apollo app, said Reddit wanted to charge him $20 million a year to keep his app running. So they're charging probably, the API is charging a monthly fee, would be my guess, plus however many users are connected to it and using it itself. He says he has no choice but to close down the app if they continue to do that. And a part of this is that's the most popular app that's out there.
How does Apollo make money?
Well, Apollo makes money because they have additional ads that they have within their app itself at the very bottom of the app itself. So you can see a little ad there. Now, Reddit makes money also by their top postings, and they have ads in there also. So you can buy as you go through Reddit. It's like a bulletin board service where you post information out there. But here's where I have the problem. Everybody's shutting down these sites, right? And they can shut down these sites. They created these sites. There's like an official iPhone site. There's what is it? There's Sacramento, there's Seattle sites, all these different like city sites that you can go to. And they've blocked it so that only the subscribers can continue to have access to it. So with that, essentially the CEO, Steve Huffman, essentially said that he told his employees to block out the noise and that the ongoing blackout of 1,000 subreddits will eventually pass. The memo, in response to popular subreddits going dark this week, announced over 8,000 communities that have gone dark. In his memo, he said the two biggest third-party apps, Apollo and RIF, along with a couple others, have said they plan to shut down at the end of the month, which Reddit is okay with because they want you to use their native app to support their platform and to make money on how many users are on their platform itself.
Okay, so what does protesting this by shutting down all these subreddits do?
Well,
Does it
essentially,
do anything?
Well, it's getting a lot of news, right? So it's
Okay.
getting, and all the fan communities are like, "Oh, Reddit, you shouldn't be charging
Everybody's
for money."
up in arms.
Everybody's up in arms. I can't find my iPhone list. I wasn't on it. I used to go and visit it, but I didn't subscribe to it. So are they going to take them just private? So they're private now. Now Reddit owns the platform, so Reddit can just go on in there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
This is what
just
every
say,
platform is.
yeah,
Every
and they could just say,
platform owns
"Screw
their
you.
thing.
We're going to change that from private to public, and we'll kick you out as the moderator and put somebody else in there." So I mean, they could really say that to the moderators and say your protest doesn't make any sense. But my biggest take on that is the CEO seems to be pretty fair. That he has to make money, Steve Huffman, that he has to make money on this platform because they keep on growing. They have more servers, more speed issues that they have to deal with as they continue to grow their communities. Why not charge for third parties to use it, or you can get it for free, but you have to log into their native app? Is that unreasonable? I'm so
I don't
confused
know.
here.
I don't use it, so I don't really know. But if the apps serve to make the platform work better, that sort of makes sense, doesn't it? That if I'm being forced to use their native app, which is, if it is in truth buggy
Yeah.
and hard to use, then this is more of a leveraging somebody else's platforms in order to get more
Okay, but this is a
integration,
free
right?
service. Yeah, but this is a free service, and these apps are free also.
Well,
So these people are using.
it's not a free service. They're making money somewhere, right?
Well, they're making money because they sell
Where-
ads. Reddit makes
okay,
money
so
because they
who-
sell ads.
where are
And
they?
the third parties sell ads in their apps themselves.
Okay, so Reddit wants to make more money.
Yeah.
And they want to do it by making it more difficult for
Third party people to have it.
people to access it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm like totally on the side.
You're like totally for this?
Yeah, I'm totally on the owner's side for this.
All right.
And the CEOs. These platforms cost money. I cannot believe that we all expect to have social media
That's
for
our
free.
problem with this stuff, is that we run around talking about how it's free for everybody, and then when something happens, who really knows if
Yeah.
they're really needing, maybe it's they need money or they need more money.
Well, they were supposed to go public, and they
these-
didn't go public because the COVID situation hit, and their stock prices dipped a bit. So they would like
Okay,
to go
so
public
maybe
to
they
make
should
money.
go public now.
Well, they probably will go public if they can start making enough money to sustain them as a
Yeah,
business
but if this
venture to
this-
make sense.
this I bet you money.
Yeah.
I bet you money.
Yeah.
That this announcement has caused another dip,
It did. It is. All right. Okay.
because that's how we are as human beings.
I just don't understand why we always keep on getting upset when we have free stuff.
Oh,
If
we
we
can talk about that later.
Okay, all right. Maybe that's a Mike mesmerizing moment thing. There we
Maybe.
go. All right, story number 2, Mike. Help me out here. I'm fired up already.
Okay, well, you're an Apple user, right?
I am. Yes.
You're an iPhone user.
I use both my Android and my iPhone, but my
So when
iPhone's
you
primary.
when you try to cuss with your
yeah,
iPhone, what happens?
it autocorrects.
It autocorrects.
Yeah, it's the
Okay,
most annoying thing ever.
That is one of the most. It's so annoying that some people just do it because it's funny.
I got a lot of ships and a lot of
That's like,
ducks.
what the duck?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens when you put in something else in there. It autocorrects to
It automatically corrects.
It does it. Yes.
Yeah. So Apple has decided that, okay, we're going to let people be adults, I guess.
Okay.
And their upcoming iOS 17 iPhone software will stop autocorrecting the swear words.
Oh.
And they are using machine learning technology to do it.
Okay. So you mean they're using AI?
AI,
But they don't ever say
but
AI.
they don't use the word AI.
That's like a no
It's
word.
machine learning technology.
Okay, I got you.
So MLT.
MLT.
MLT, that's
Okay.
right. So the upgraded system is powered by a transformer language model, which Apple calls a state-of-the-art on-device machine learning language model for word prediction.
Okay.
This
So you mean like an AI for word prediction?
This AI model more
Okay.
accurately predicts which words or phrases you might type next. and it allows it to learn a person's most used phrases, habits, and preferences over time, affecting which word it corrects and which it leaves alone. Now
you have this with you do this with
that,
Alexa, right?
Well, I think this is funny
Okay.
because they create these things where you can write whatever you want.
Yep.
And then they create this thing called autocorrect where they don't want you to write whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then they have to create a machine learning technology so that you can write whatever you want.
That is kind of funny, isn't it?
So
Why don't you just start at number one and
I
just
don't know.
allow
Why
you
don't
to
you
write?
just let people say curse words? I don't get it.
Well, I guess we're moving
The
into
morality
a whole new,
police came along and said, no, you can't do that.
yes. So now the morality police said that I guess we're old enough to do
No,
it.
I think they figured
So what's
going
gonna
to
have
don't
to-
need the morality.
What happens if I'm a 13-year-old and I start swearing on my phone? Though, is there going to be some
You
type
know,
of governance that needs to be put in that?
I don't
now?
really know. Maybe that was the original intent.
Okay.
But kids are going to do what kids are going to do.
I mean, as a young kid, I mean, I didn't, but I know as many young kids.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, your peer has driven snow, buddy.
That's right.
You're as white as my shirt.
That's right. Swear words were a pretty common language back when you started figuring out what they all meant.
Everybody from the dawn of the calculator was trying to write curse words and numbers.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
So
Okay. All right.
So yeah, there it is. There, your iPhone 17 will allow you to swear with machine learning technology.
That's good. All right. Now, okay. Story number 3. Meta has shown staff plans for a text bid for a based social network design to compete with Twitter.
Let's go and take any alcohol yet.
I know. Let's go to the audio that we have from CNBC specifically about this.
Meta is going after Twitter, the company reportedly unveiling to employees a new standalone app that will aim to compete with the Bird. Steve Kovac.
Yeah, they're going to flip the Bird. So this has been reported before, but it came out. The Verge got their hands on this internal all-hands meeting that Mark Zuckerberg held with Meta employees. According to this report, a sneak peek at this app that they're building. It's based on Instagram. That would be kind of text-based Twitter competitor. So clearly they see an opportunity here with all the issues that Twitter has been going through, the advertising losses and so forth, and they're going to give it a try. I will note, though, Facebook/Meta has a long history of creating clones of apps of other popular social networks. But by the way, they have a perfect record doing it. Did you know that, Tyler?
Well, I was going to say, they've been actually successful.
No, perfect record.
Yeah.
Everyone has failed. Everyone has failed.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everyone has failed.
Everyone has failed.
So let me just tell you.
So who's the
if
bully?
I'm Twitter right now,
Who's the bully in the schoolyard?
Well, if I'm Twitter right now, I have zero concern that Facebook is going to pull off some imitation Twitter deal that's out there. If you really want to get onto the anti-Twitter deal, we talked about that. Mastodon, we talked about it there. That's the decentralized platform that people go to. So when you get on Twitter and you get all mad at Twitter and you go to someplace else, most people are going to Mastodon at this time.
So Facebook is going to kill the Mastodon. Huh?
Well, they're going to kill the Mastodon, and I guess they're going to go and do some I'm sure it's some crazy hybrid idea of taking some Instagram stuff and WhatsApp stuff, and we'll throw it together, and then he can put out some characters out there, and then he can be tracking on what's going on.
It's good to know the law of the jungle is at work, even as we speak.
That's right. That's right. Well, Meta's chief product officer, Chris Cox, this guy's an idiot, said coding was underway on the platform. The tech giant aims to release it soon, although no date was given. There's some speculation it could be as early as the end of June. The text-based network has a working title called P92.
Is that like P90X?
That's what I think of too, like the workout stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I think of too. Could it turn out to be the greatest rival against Elon Musk's Twitter other than Blue Sky or Mastodon? I will take a betting absolutely no.
I'm going to think that Twitter is probably too well established for Meta to mess it up that much.
I would be. So here's the biggest thing here that comes on it. Meta says that it has 2 billion users, which endorse the 300 million that are believed to use Twitter. So it figures that it can muscle its way into a brand new technology with no existing user base by just converting over your Instagram community. Wow.
Well, if they have 2 billion users, is that active all the time? I know we've done reports where like Meta reports these humongous numbers, but only a fraction of them are actually active.
You got to remember, Twitter used to have like 60% more accounts until Musk went in there and got rid of all of them. The fake accounts. So these 2 billion.
Meta smells blood.
Oh yeah, 1 billion of these could be fake.
Yeah,
right?
Meta smells blood. And they're going to be like, hey, let's attack this right now.
All right, last story. I got to go quick because I'm only supposed to do 3 stories. Story number 4: U.S.
Let's do
intelligence
this.
confirms it buys Americans' personal data. A new declassified government report confirms for the first time that the U.S. intelligence and spy agencies purchase vast amounts of commercial information on Americans, including data from connected vehicles, web browsing data, smartphones. Essentially, the government, under its own admission, says that it purchases intelligence that it would consider to be the same type of intelligence as it would be using if it was doing a warrant, wiretap, or surveillance. So they say that essentially this is the same stuff that they would get with these other surveillance areas, but now they have officially released that they do buy our personal data.
Okay, they added themselves. Who cares?
Okay, all right. Well, when you're trying to ban TikTok in China from doing it, and then you're the country that's doing it yourself too, isn't that kind of a little bit?
You
like,
know, this
I don't
whole
wanna look in the
equity
mirror?
thing that you got going on with governments is kind of weird.
Okay, all right, okay, there you go. All right, well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have Gwen Wei joining us for our gadgets and gear segment after the commercial break. You will not want to miss this segment. We got a device here, and I got some insider information from I wouldn't want to say. I'll say it when we get into there regarding how great this device is. So this is a pretty cool device. Right now, though, we're going to go to a commercial break so we can taste some of our whiskeys. We'll see you after this.
Yeah, we need it.
Hello, listeners. We're excited here at TechTime Radio, aren't we, Mike?
Oh no.
We have an announcement to make starting in June. We're really excited to be a part of an internet radio station. That's right. Coming up in June, you will still be able to listen to us live here at Kixie 880 and KKNW and all of our affiliate stations. But you'll be able to listen to us at 8 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday now. We look forward to this new opportunity to provide you Tech Time Radio every weekday. And again, you can always catch us online at techtimeradio.com. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time is a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, and Micro Day. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break. Oh boy, that was bitter. And now we have Mark in the studio to tell us what we are sipping in our pick of the days. Mark, what have we chosen today?
What are we doing today, Mark?
Today we're doing a flight fight.
Oh, a flight fight.
A fight of Maker's Mark wood finishing battle.
Okay.
So we have 46 cast strength versus BEP versus a private select from West Slope Liquor in Oregon and a private select from Uptown Liquor in Oregon.
Okay.
All right.
So explain the differences real quick for the listening audience. So what kind of are the differences? Is you have one flavor is the primary flavor, but each of these are kind of individually taken care of?
I'll give you a general one, and then the Mark's Mumbles, we go a little bit deeper into it.
Okay.
But basically, the 46 cast strength is just a regular selection, everyday shelf one that they have put out. The BEP is a special wood finishing one that Maker's Mark put out, and then private selects are ones that were developed or chosen by the stores specifically. They're all from Beam Suntory. They're all from Maker's Mark Distillery in Loretto, Kentucky. All straight bourbon, roughly 6 years old. And these are all what's considered a wheat bourbon. So it's still 51% plus corn, but the secondary grain is wheat. So they tend to be a little bit sweeter. They're all 4 of these are roughly within the same proof point. We have 110.3, 110.7, 109.9, and 111.9. So just right within a percentage point. The mash bill, since you were asking, is 78% corn, 12 malted barley. Oh, no, sorry. That's wrong mash bill because this is a wheater.
Yeah.
I forgot to change that one.
Okay, that's all right.
Mash bill's unknown on this one. Just secondary is there. And price is interesting.
Okay.
So the 46 cast strength, which is the general release, was $60. The BEP, which is their special wood finishing, was $65. And then the private selects are $75.
$35.
Okay,
Those are
I
all
hope it
Oregon
doesn't
pricing.
Tastes like wood finisher.
Yeah. Maybe that was the first one we tasted.
Maybe. I don't know.
That first one was oof. Okay.
So a little description here. Maker's Mark from their website, they say BEP, which is their new, that's the one you're actually going to give when we figure out which one that is. That's going to be the thumbs up or thumbs down.
Okay.
So that's a limited release bourbon that showcases the influence of Maker's unique 110 barrel entry point, also known as BEP, barrel entry point.
Wow.
It was crafted to amplify the balanced wood sugars, softer tannins, and lasting finish achieved with low 110 barrel entry point. Special finishing stays were used to amplify the notes of vanilla and sweet spice that occur from the lower barrel entry. And BEP is the fifth and final bourbon in this chapter of the wood finishing series. So be sure to keep an eye. They're going to
So
be
kind of like a
introducing new
season
series.
finale, then, is that what you're
It's the
saying?
season finale.
Okay.
I hope
all
it's
right.
not like Game of Thrones.
Where the last season was horrible. All right. Well, with our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment today. We have Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the day and a game board geek in the evenings, the producer of TechTime Radio and our gadgets and gear gal. Let's get ready to start our next segment.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right, Gwen, welcome to the show today.
Hi, Gwen.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Oh, we got Mark in the studio, and we got a lot of whiskey here, so we're gonna have
Nathan's already slammed some.
No,
I was going to say, that's
just
quite a few bottles for sure.
quite a few bottles. But you should see my poor whiskey chambers at home. It's now that we've done the show for, we're going on 3+ years, and
Oh,
every week we have
We're
whiskey.
at our 3rd year anniversary.
Yes, right. Any second now.
Any second now.
Yep,
Like, it
so-
just happened now.
Yep, just now. Okay, there you go. All right. Well,
Happy
Gwen,
anniversary.
thank you. How have you been? First off, how are things going? I know you got a new house. You got moving as a priority, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. This will be the last time you see this particular background.
Okay.
I have a new office and bigger bandwidth and all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh,
So
that'd be great.
I'm excited.
All right. Now, before we start our gadgets and gear, what cybersecurity issues have you been working on lately at your 9 to 5 job? What have you been working on?
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest vulnerability that's happening right now is actually the Move It vulnerability.
Okay.
It's a product from Progress Software called Move It Transfer, and their database is actually vulnerable to what is called a SQL injection attack.
Oh, okay.
Which means basically somebody can come along without credentials, log into your database, make changes.
We got to move it.
Yep.
Exactly. This has been going on for about 2 weeks now. It was first announced May 31st. And to be honest with you, at this point, the Department of Homeland Security is actually reaching out to hospitals and manufacturers and getting them to check for this because it's that big a concern.
Oh, wow. There you go. You got to be careful. The
Yeah.
government's needing the help from the private sector, just like it buys our data from the private sector.
Oh, hush.
All right, here we go. Okay, now let's go on and talk about one of our gadgets. Gwen, what do you have on the docket today for us?
Well, as you said, my husband and I just bought a house. And one of the things that we are big into is the idea of a smart house. We like the idea of walking into the house and saying, "Hey, home, turn on my lights," and just having lights turn on everywhere.
Perfect.
That can get extremely expensive and can actually block usage of outlets for anything other than the smart home devices. So, to the rescue is a Kickstarter called Invis Outlet. I don't know how it's actually supposed to be pronounced. It never rolls off the tongue.
Okay.
It's spelled INVISOUTLET. And basically what it is the ability to replace a normal outlet with a smart outlet. So anything that you plug in, you'll be able to control. It also does some cool things like check the air quality, look for any CO2 or any other CO, carbon monoxide, or any other concerning particulates in the air. You can use it for motion detection to make sure that your house is safe, and even as a nightlight if you want to.
So it's interesting. So there's a lot of these devices that are different than this device. So I want to go into a little bit. I had an expert that is an electrician, and I talk about this. And so he was very excited about this device itself because there's a lot of devices right now that you can buy that are wall mounted, wall plates that essentially you put on your existing electrical outlets, and it puts these little copper or these metal inductors that are on the existing outlet itself, and it conducts certain information from it, including additional dimmer, some lights that are a part of it. But this unit is a lot different than that. Explain what makes this unit a little bit different. Some people are actually a little negative about this Kickstarter and have withdrawn their pledges. But explain what's different on this device itself, Gwen.
Well, there's a couple of things. The big thing that has been one of the major causes for people removing their pledges is that you actually replace your outlet entirely. So instead of just pushing a plate on top of your outlet, you're actually taking it out and wiring this new outlet in. That means it's directly connected to your house power without having to actually pull it from the outlet itself.
So you should probably have an electrician install it for you.
That would be good. That'd be good. Yeah, it'd be good to have an
definitely.
electrician to install. And you can get them as little as $97 an hour, depending on you all the way
As
up
little
to
as
little as $97 an hour,
as little as.
or as low as $97 an hour, and as high as probably about $300 an hour to do this. So there's a little bit of work. But why is it that you have to replace this unit? It's because some key elements. What are those key elements again, Gwen?
It does air quality monitoring. It's got a present detection. It can control lights. You can get intruder alerts from it. It's a night light. It also works with your Wi-Fi. It's great. There's no hub. There's no battery. You just plug it in, set it up, and go.
So that's right. So this base unit is replacing your electrical outlet with a computer smart device that runs electricity into it. And then it uses the plate on it to do the additional functions like the illumination at night with the night light, with the CO2 sensoring, with the ability
What
to have
happens when all
camera.
that stuff fails?
Well, what do you mean?
Okay.
Well, what happens when it
It's
fails?
possible.
What do you mean?
It's
Electricity
possible.
goes out?
Yeah. Well, no, not the electricity, but all the components inside this piece of equipment that you have wired to your house.
Well,
The
then
processor
throw it
itself
out.
is actually in the cover plate.
Okay.
And I believe what the plan is to make additional cover plates available in the future.
There we go.
So if something does break, you just take that plate off, put the new one on, and you're good to go again.
Now, it is a Kickstarter, which means that they're trying to start this idea. So it doesn't mean you always get the same thing of what the final product will be in 2 or 3 years from now. But this is their incubation bowl of ideas for what they have available in those items themselves. Now, where is this based out of? I mean, is this a Chinese company? Is it a local company?
It's actually out of San Jose, California. So
Okay, perfect.
right
Locally,
down the
okay.
road from us.
Okay. And how's it doing for backers, days to go? How's that going?
We've got about 9 days left. You've got until June 22nd to make your support known. The goal was for 10,000 and they're already over 140,000. So obviously it's going to fund. And right now it's sitting at about 750 backers.
Okay, perfect. 150 backers.
I think,
Yeah.
So I said that I think it's a great idea. I love these little devices. What could happen though is if I want to break into the house. I mean, it's so simple to break into houses nowadays with these smart stuff. All you got to do is cut the electrical, and then
why are you telling everybody how to do it?
And then essentially you can do it everything in a house that you want to, because nobody has backup 4G devices normally plugged into their
I already
stuff.
have a
That's
particle notifier. It's called my nose.
your nose. Okay, there you well, okay, there you go. All right. Well, Gwen, did you back this individually yourself?
I did.
And so did I.
Definitely.
I think you should, pronounce it in French, and that'll make it easier to say.
Invisualat.
Invisole.
Invisule.
Invisole. I like
Okay.
that.
Simplify your smart home setup.
Okay, no, you don't get to do those.
Okay. All right, Gwen. Thank you so much for being a part of the show every second Tuesday of the month. There you go. There's Mark coming on in there. You are a vital part of what makes this show great each week. Thank you so much. Tell your husband best of luck with all the moving stuff, and if you need some help, you can call me. I won't pick up, but no, give me a call, and I'll be more than willing to help you out.
Thank you so much.
All right. That was a great segment. We thank Gwen for being a part of the show. She's a great part. She's a great friend. I've known her for many years. Her technology is spot on stuff that she works on. It's perfect. So that ends our gadgets and gear. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we will be doing so during our break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
This is Mark
and Greg
for Copiers Northwest
with a terrific offer
called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner,
one of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service
as long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers
or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives
and let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going all the way back to June 14th, 2013. The United States federal prosecutors filed a criminal complaint against Edward Snowden, charging him with 3 felonies, theft of government property, and 2 counts of violating the Espionage Act of 1917 with authorizing communication of national defense information and willfully communicating of classification, intelligent information to an unauthorized person. Woof. All right.
Wow, I think you might need to take another drink. That was classified information.
Classified information. After attending a 2006 job fair focused on intelligence agencies, Snowden accepted an offer for the position at the CIA. The agency assigned him to the Global Communications Division at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. In 2009 now, Snowden begins to start working as a contractor for Dell, in which he manages computer systems for multiple government agencies. Assigned to an NSA facility near Tokyo, Snowden instructed top officials and military officers on how to defend their networks from Chinese hackers. Snowden is known for copying and releasing many highly sensitive documents after working as an employee for the National Security Agency, and is considered one of the largest internal hacks known by the United States government. So he's kind of our first internal hacker / release of information of what these individuals were doing. Big deal when this happened.
Spy, would that cover it?
Yeah, it's kind of an internal techno spy. He didn't like hack into it, but he just collected data and then he decided to release it to the public. All right. Well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 2 years of video, podcasts, and blog information, you can visit us at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows, or join us at the Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us live. You can talk with Gwen and I all the time. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review and our Technology Fail of the Week. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right. What crazy day do we have today, Mike? National Butterflies Day?
I don't know what
Upside
day
down?
it is. I
Okay.
know. I'm just going to make up a date.
Okay.
I can tell you today
National
comes...
Ball Guy Day.
Oh, there you go.
No.
Okay.
Today does come with a warning, though.
Uh-oh.
You can't be drinking and doing this activity today.
Uh-oh.
Today is International Axe Throwing Day.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no,
I
that sounds like
throwing.
I should be drinking while throwing axes. That's
No. So it's encouraging for axe throwers, professional and amateur from all around the world, to celebrate the urban sport. So today, a lot of them are having free tryouts.
Oh, I could be on an axe throwing team.
Yeah, or
you
just
should
free
probably
throwing.
never go around an axe.
I did. I just went like 3 months ago to an axe throwing event itself.
I know, and you got hurt.
Well, my ego was hurt. Let me just tell you.
Oh,
that.
okay.
I don't know how you get it to stick in the freaking wood. Mine kept on bouncing out, and
That's because you don't know how to throw an axe.
All right. Okay. Well, tell us more about this whiskey. I just tasted the green one during
So
the
what
break.
is an axe? What's the main function of an axe?
To cut wood.
And we're doing wood finishing series today.
Oh, the tie-in. Okay.
That was clever.
All right.
Thank
Kind
you.
of
Thank you.
like Parlins and cream ice cream.
So I'm going to
Don't try it.
I'm going to tell our astute listeners more about this Maker's Mark and the wood finishing while you continue tasting the whiskey. I believe you're on the fourth one, which is number red. And then I
Okay.
ask you, after you taste that one, go back through the opposite way back through them.
Okay. Well, tell us more.
All right. So Maker's Mark exploration of the wood finishing began with the creation of Maker's Mark 46. This discovery opened new doors on how makers could be expanded on while staying true to its original taste. Since then, over a decade, they have innovated and experimented in the wood science with Maker's Mark private selection and limited releases of the wood finishing series. And that is what we are doing the flight fight on today. Now, in experimentation with the independent stave company, they're able to highlight certain flavor characteristics from their original Maker's Mark, each with its own unique expression. Private selection, which we have 2 of those today, is created by adding 10 custom wood finishing staves to each barrel. It's then aged in a limestone cellar to extract a unique flavor profile. Participants in this special barrel program get to say their selection, have a say in the selection of their 10 wood staves. The finishing staves can be any combination of 5 flavor profiles chosen for the program. That means you have 1,001 possible stave combinations, each an expression of a private selection that has customized finish and taste profile.
Okay.
So with that, of the 2 private selections we're tasting, one of them is really unique. There's only one, that one's from Oregon, and there's only one other one in the U.S. that has ever chosen their exact combination.
Okay.
The other one is a little bit more prevalent.
Okay.
And the one that's more prevalent is known as the creme brulee one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, don't give it away yet because we still have the pick of the days coming on up here. I have made my order of what I thought was best, starting with the yeah. That's
I don't know if I'm even going to pay attention to your order.
Okay.
I think your palate is shot.
Oh wow!
All the thumbs up for those awful flavored whiskeys that you give. I just don't think you know what real whiskey tastes like anymore.
Okay, what were you doing there, man?
What's that?
Wow.
I'm just glad there's no more of that apple cat pea whiskey here today.
Minor inconvenience.
And a little shout out tomorrow.
No, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong
tomorrow,
thing.
Guys.
Yeah.
National Bourbon Day. I know it's not today, but tomorrow's National Bourbon Day. So we do
I'll be celebrating that definitely.
All right, we'll be back to see what your list is and who wins and who loses.
Okay, now let's get ready for our technology fail of the week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed. Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Now, this was a tough subject. Last night when we were doing our show prep, we couldn't find a technology fail, but thank goodness for Tuesday morning.
Thank goodness for Tuesdays.
That's right. Spotify has been fined $5.4 million for violating GDPR data rules. A Swedish regulator says the company wasn't transparent enough about how it's handling user data. The Swedish Authority for Privacy Protection found that while Spotify gives users personal data that it processes upon its request, does not inform clearly enough about how the data is being used by the company. It said the Spotify should be more transparent about how and for what purposes individual personal data is handled. The lack of clarity meant that it was difficult for individuals to understand how their personal data is processed. Well, it goes to the local United States government, and then check whether their handling for personal data is lawful. Spotify users offers all users comprehensive information about how personal data is processed, the company said, which is based in Sweden. It told TechCrunch in a statement that the regulators found only minor areas of our processes that believe needs improvement. However, we don't agree with the decision and plan to file an appeal. All right, we're going to head out for our last commercial break. When we return, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment brought to us by Story Coffee and a possible absolutely Nathan Nugget, along with our pick of the day. So sit back, raise a glass. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
How to see a man about a dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon The Bookpository, and more.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com.
All right, here's our mesmerizing moment. Mike.
No,
Mike.
What's my question?
Do you think protests work?
Really?
Yeah, because we talked about the protest of shutting down all these subreddit sites for Reddit, right? So do protests really work?
Well, I can't really give you an answer on that because it depends on what the protest is, why it's being protested, what the company is going to do about it.
Do you think protests work? That's what I'm asking you personally. Do you think they work?
We have the right to protest in the Constitution, right?
Yep.
So that's part of our constitutional freedoms is the right to protest.
And to bear guns.
I don't know how that is relevant in this case.
I'm just saying
but
those are the things
we have the right to protest.
Yes.
Is it effective? Sometimes. Is it not effective? Sometimes. Because the fact of the matter is I don't care how much you protest something. If I've made up my mind something and you're protesting about it, I get to decide whether or not your influence on me via your protest is going to make me change my mind.
Do you ever think protests make people change their mind?
It can. I mean, the reason behind the Reddit protest is they are essentially trying to keep money from flowing into Reddit. Is that right?
Essentially they're going to try to kill their own system.
Okay.
Because if Reddit can't financially be solvent, then they're going to have to dissolve.
Yeah. So they're doing this protest. They're protesting by shutting down, by showing that they have power, which is where power comes from. Power comes from the people.
Okay.
And they are saying we don't like this. Now, the reason is probably based more on why they don't like it, and that's they don't want that change to happen. They want to protect the way things are. We as people like to do that, but whether or not it works is not up to them, or it's up to Reddit.
Okay.
If they feel enough pressure, Reddit may change their stance. If they don't feel any pressure or they want to gut through it, they can do that. But if you're getting thrown out of the bar for inappropriate behavior and you make a protest, what determines whether or not you get that changed?
Okay.
I mean, this is just a simple interaction between. So I can't really answer that question.
Okay.
Can't really answer the question of whether or not protests work. I know that sometimes I think we over protest things, and we often in American culture we often protest things weirdly and in dangerous ways. But whether it works or not is up to the conflicts of everything that is going into those protests.
Okay. I'm not saying that I don't think protests personally are
I don't know why you even asked that question.
Well, I just want to make sure that no one thinks that I don't think that you should have protests. I absolutely think you should. I just don't think this Reddit protest. I'm against.
But you protest all the time.
I do.
Yeah. Does it work for you?
No.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So there's your answer.
There you go.
There you go.
That's what happens when you've been married 30 years. All right, moving on. We got
You're gonna get
Nathan
busted. You are
Nugget.
in trouble, man.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right. So, okay.
All right.
This happened Sunday. I was so excited. I texted you on Sunday.
Yes, you did.
And I don't normally text you a lot on the weekends. I normally text you, hey, do you want to do this?
You text me Friday nights.
Friday nights normally.
Because
Hey, are you
want to
play games
play
with you?
some Sea of Thieves?
Yep. And then I normally
Sometimes Saturdays.
some very little Saturdays, sometimes Sunday afternoons,
Sometimes Sunday afternoon.
Yep. And this information came out Sunday, and I was so excited. Well, essentially, Microsoft had their annual show, their Xbox annual summer show that was packed with Xbox gaming news. Microsoft just wrapped up the big showcase, and this was a big one. Not only did Microsoft share tons of information about how new titles are coming into the Xbox, but the company also showed a long look at Starfield, Bethesda's long-awaited sci-fi RPG. Now, you should take a look at this game, Starfield. There was about 45 minutes of gameplay. This reminds me of Fallout, and I'm a huge Fallout 4 fan. I played it for many, many, many hours. with a sci-fi twist where you can go and you can create homes on planets. You can go and do different
Isn't this
stuff.
like No Man's Land?
Yeah, it's kind of like No
Or
Man's Sky.
Sky.
Yeah, it's like the No Man's Sky, but Bethesda's version of it with a kind of a sci-fi deal. And you can do, if you just want to pilot a ship all day long, you can just pilot ships all day long and never go onto a planet, or you can do planet exploration too. So it's kind of got both of it. All right, now they also talked about the new game called Fable. Have you heard of Fable?
Fable's a long time game.
They have a new game they've been working on for like 6 years now, and they say that that's coming out. It also reviewed Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, packed with the ability to fly hot air balloons and aerial firefighting. So that is, you could be up there, firefighters.
I really want to use a hot air balloon flight simulator. That's my dream in life.
All right. The most significant announcement for yours truly.
Yeah, here's the pitch.
Was that my current favorite game? What is my current favorite game?
Monkey Island.
Well, no, that's my original favorite.
Oh, your
game.
current favorite.
My current favorite game.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Essentially, a game from Rare is doing a crossover of The Legend of Monkey Island on June 20th as a 3-part special series.
Yes, I know. That's
for
what I got texted
Sea
on
of Thieves.
Sunday.
That is, I ran into the house, and I mean, my poor wife has no clue. She just knows I play a pirate game with you. That's what I say. I'm going to go on and play Sea of Thieves with Mike. She I made her watch the trailer, not only once, but like 3
How many
times.
3 times?
3 times. And it was, every single time I was like jumping up and down. It reminded me like opening up a Christmas gift present as a young child. It was so exciting.
Yeah,
All
you were
right.
so giddy about this. What did you say? This is the best moment in your life?
It was one of the best. No, there's. I said one of the best.
One of.
moments.
Are
Oh,
you
there
sure
go.
you said one of the best, or was the best thing
All
that
right.
ever happened to you?
I did. All right. Well, now we're gonna move on after that great news to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
I was excited to come back and talk to you about this, but not so much now.
Why is that?
Because he's geeking out about Monkey Island?
Yeah, because you said Sunday, you text Mike. I got all excited. And
I
then
saw you Sunday
You saw
in
me at
person.
IKEA. We bumped into each
I
other. It was
know.
a special moment, and all you're
Don't
talking
say
about is
IKEA.
Monkey
At a high-end furniture store. We ran into each other, right?
and our wives, and it was awesome.
That was
And
okay.
I guess wasn't even memorable to you.
Oh wow! not after the announcement of Sea of Thieves and Monkey Island. Let me
Drama
just tell you
factor
that.
just got really high in here.
That's right. Okay. All right. Well,
All right, let's
talk about our
these.
whiskey. Okay.
Yeah. So first of all,
Yeah.
I have the order that you guys liked them in.
Okay.
But where would you have put the dividing line between thumbs up and thumbs down? After number what for you?
2. I think there's 2 I give thumbs up and 2 I give thumbs down.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about how I would rate that.
Same thing for you, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So for me, all 4 were a thumbs up.
Okay.
I'm on my second bottle of everything.
Okay.
Now it's very interesting. When you have them all next to each other, there's crossover flavors and tastes, and they affect each other. So it's always best to not just do that, but also drink the bottles individually and score them independently.
Okay.
But let's do. And I looked at yours, and your bottom ones, Mike's it was red, and Nathan, that was your second to last. That was my number 1.
That was your number 1. Okay.
Yeah, and then your bottom one was yellow, Nathan. That was my number 2.
Yep.
So I know that your palate is just whacked.
Okay.
So let's reveal them.
All right. What do we got?
And the correct
We got a minute
order.
left, right? All right. Minute left.
All
Wow.
right.
Okay.
Red.
Yeah.
My number 1 was 46 cast strength.
Okay.
Which was
That's the-
interesting
that's
as
the
you have
normal one.
reviewed this one, correct, and you reviewed this one on the show before. Mike, you gave this a thumbs up. This was
Yes.
your last one on this flight fight.
Okay.
Yes.
And
I did
Nathan
do
gave it a thumbs down, and it was still a thumbs down.
Oh, I'm
this time.
still thumbs down for me. Look at that.
Well, you had
my
me
palate
compare-
is consistent.
Yeah. No.
It's very
not.
distinct.
Yeah, distinct is a good word for you.
Now that one stands out a lot because that's the one with the heaviest wood flavor to it.
Okay.
Yeah, see, as an independent, if I'm comparing it with all the other ones, then yeah,
Correct.
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
All right.
Yellow was the brand new, the last of the wood finishing series BEP.
Okay.
And that's the one you guys are giving thumbs up and thumbs down. And looks like Mike gave that a thumbs up, and Nathan, of course, gave it a thumbs down because he doesn't know good whiskey.
All right.
Green was Private Select, the West Slope liquor. That's the one there's only 2 of those stays in the country.
Yep.
And then the last one
That was my number 1.
And blue was the last one, my last one. That one was still delicious. That's the creme brulee, very sugar sweet.
Yeah, okay, I like that one.
Same here. We do have a little bit more of the same palette. All right.
I don't know where you get your data from.
Well, no, because you like to. Didn't you have blue up there?
I had blue first and yellow second.
I had blue second. So there you go. We're about the same.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So
blue
was
was my last. So do I send you guys any whiskey anymore? I just don't know if it's worth it.
Well, last time, send us a whiskey because when you don't like it, I know for sure it's a great bottle.
I'll send you all the fake flavored stuff.
That's right.
That's Nathan. If
Absolutely.
you don't like it, Nathan will like
That's
it.
right.
Don't forget National Bourbon Day tomorrow.
All right.
Celebrate.
You know what? We want to thank all of our fans for listening. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.